Hi children, welcome back to the lesson wastewater story. So however we finished how to treat the wastewater by using at the wastewater plant or wastewater treatment plant, and as well as we call it as um, another word we use a sewage plant. However, we purified the water and then we allowed the water to enter into the water bodies so that the water become pure and it is less infective, and harmful materials are removed so that it is harmless. No need of worry about that. And as well, we already learned about the activity how to treat the water at home also. However, now let us see some more knowledge about the sewage. So here at our house regularly we are producing many kinds of wastages, and some of them we drain in the form of sewage. So if you include these material into sewage water, then what happens? They are going to make the sewage water harder, and it is hard to remove them, and the effort become loaded. So that by maintaining some good housekeeping practices, we can easily reduce the water means reduce the sewage water content. Okay, so let us see. So here today we are going to discuss about some good sanitary habits, or otherwise we can say some good habits housekeeping habits. So regularly we are using many materials, and these materials, some of them they along with the water we are using, for example shampoo or soap. When you bath we use shampoo, soap, or when you cleaning the vessel we use detergent, or otherwise the vim bars, etc. And as well as while washing the cloths we use many chemicals, different types of fabric conditioner and etc. we are using. So all these are chemicals, they are mixing with the water, right? So here what we have to do, we have to remove. First of all, we should not add the solids in the sewage. Very important, we should not add solids in the sewage. For example, when you after finishing your meal, what happens? Some curry leaves, or otherwise the remaining of curry, for example if you ate non-veg chicken or mutton, then the bone remains, and as well as the flesh, whatever it may be, they are organic in nature. But apart from that, if any obstructable, for example in the kitchen, if your mother boiling the milk, before that she is going to tear the milk packet, what happens? The small piece of milk packet will be fallen in the sink. And as well as hair, soft toys, the children they use it to throw the soft toys, or cotton, or otherwise polythene bags, sanitary towels or kerchiefs, means tissue papers, tea leaves, etc. we are going to throw in the sewage water. What happens then? These solids they enter into the sewage pipeline, and while they are traveling, they are going to obstruct the pipeline. Means the solids they accumulate together, and it forms the heap inside the pipeline, so that the pipe it gets blocked. Now pipe is got blocked. When it's blocked, then what happens? Through the manhole, the dirt water, the sewage water, it oozes out, it comes out, and it flow on the roads, and it seems to be dirty. We know very well why it is flowing outside. Reason is why? Because we only throw the solids into the wastage, and as well as some people they are throwing what you call garlands in the water, garlands after puja. And some people they are throwing the wastages after the puja, or otherwise after the function. They use it to throw the paper plates or etc into the drainage pipeline. So when drainage pipeline the sewage is flowing, then it causes the obstruction. This blockage causes overflow of the drainage pipeline, and the drain water it flows in the locality. and it spread the diseases. So that we should not throw the solids here. And one more problem is that when solids are accumulated, there is no chance to uh, dissolving of oxygen in the water, sewage water, so that the aerobic bacteria it become inactive, and no, even it contain the organic material, it do not undergo the decomposition due to lack of oxygen. So the remains will be as it is by the blockage of the drainage. So that we should not add any solids into the sewage water. We should dispose them separately, or otherwise we should use the what you call dustbins. We have to throw the wastages in dustbin, but should not throw them into the flushing, or otherwise what you call in the sinks of the bathroom, right? Next, second housekeeping method is that do not allow the oil to mix with the sewage water. Why? Because the waste cooking oils and fats, uh, when they are flowing in the pipeline, they are going to stuck to the walls of the pipeline, and it become hard. It become hard, and if the fat content, if I keep going on accumulating, what happens? One day comes where it blocks the pipeline. We know very well at the sink. For example, if it is the sink, here it is the pipeline. Many times your pipeline is going to obstruct, right? Why? Because we are throwing oily materials, fats, and leaves, etc. They are going to clog the pipeline. So here it is the small pipeline at your sink, but the same thing, if many houses they release the oily material at once, just imagine what happens, right? And as well as here, these oils, they are not going to be easily destroyed by the microbes. Okay, they remain for the longer period, so that the oily material or oil do not add into the sewage water, as they are going to stop the flow of oxygen into the water by forming a layer above it. Okay, and third one, definitely we should not add the chemicals, harmful chemicals like pesticides, insecticides, and as well as solvent, varnishes, paints. We should not allow them to enter into the sewage water. Why? Because all they are very harmful chemicals, and we may not separate them. Why? Because they are miscible with the water. So we are unable to detect them, we are unable to separate them, and this leads to, even they are non-biodegradable, what you call the insecticides and fertilizers, they are non-biodegradable. When they are non-biodegradable, they are not going to be decomposed by the microbe, so they remain as it is, and if you consume the same water, it causes very uh, health issues, means different types of diseases we gonna get by adding these chemicals into the sanitary water. So that remember one thing, we should not throw the solids, we should not throw oils, we should not throw the harmful chemicals into the sewage water. Okay, so by following this we can reduce the effect of sewage water problem. And as well as, let us see the sanitization and disease. What happens if you don't maintain the good sanitization? What is meant by sanitization? Clean bathroom, simply, right? What happens if you don't maintain the bathroom clean? So what happens? We know that it causes many waterborne diseases. Actually, in olden days in India, there are no toilets, so the people used to go outskirts of the village or cities for the toilets. And what happens if rainfall occur? If any patient is there, if rainfall occur, then fecal matter will mix with the water, and it flow in the water, and it reaches to the drinking water source, and as it is, it comes out of the borewells or tap. Then if you consume this contaminated water, it causes variety of waterborne diseases. And waterborne diseases, particularly, they include typhoid, typhoid, cholera, typhoid, cholera, dysentery, 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 and as well as what you call polio, meningitis and meningitis, and as well as what you get by the water, you get common cold, that is very common. So all these diseases can be caused by the contaminated water, right? So that's why we should not drink this water. So whenever you get the tap water, then simply to make it fresh drinking water, you have to boil it. First of all, we have to boil. After boiling it, allow it to cool down, and then only you should drink the water, right? So this is the good habit. Drinking of hot water is a good habit, and nowadays the water is very less, and for drinking also the water is not available, so that the international United Nations Assembly, they decided that March 22nd is celebrated as on March 22nd it is celebrated as World Water Day. World Water Day. So everyone should follow this World Water Day, and the decade from 2005 to 2015, it is declared as Water for Life Decade. 2005 to 2015, to save the water, they declared this decade as the Water for Life Decade. Water for Life Decade. Okay. Because the availability of drinking water is very less, so whatever the water that we get, we should adjust with it, and we should not waste it. We should recycle it, we should clean it, then you will be happy. So with this, I'm going to stop the lesson, and in the next session we learn alternative for the sewage disposal and other issues. Okay children, I hope you understood today's class. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you.